if you could teach your cat to use the toilet, you would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want a box of piss in your house. It's the worst. I've had cats my whole life. It's the worst thing about having cats. You got to clean that box of piss every day.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Joe Rogan, falling for a bunch of misinformation. It's getting pretty bad. He's almost sounding completely senile at this point. Let's watch.
Not of the last 5 years or so. Now, he's fallen for fake stories before, but this is by far the dumbest of all of them, because he's going to claim that students are using litter boxes at schools if said students identify as cats. Now, this is a claim that has been spread multiple times in multiple school districts. We'll talk about the history of this myth, and I've debunked it multiple times, but now that it is being broadcasted on the largest podcast on the planet, these claims are going to spread exponentially, but let's see what he has to say.
There's kids, ready for this? My friend, his wife, is a school teacher, and she works at a school that had to install a litter box in the girls' room because there is a girl who's a furry who identifies as an animal, and her mother badgered the school until they agreed to put a litter box in one of the stalls. Yeah. So this girl goes into the litter room or to the girls' room and urinates or whatever. I don't know if she poops in it. That's pretty gross. You know what I mean? Like, if you could teach your cat, by the way, here's the thing. If you could teach your cat to use the toilet, you would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want a box of piss in your house. It's the worst. I've had cats my whole life. It's the worst thing about having cats. You got to clean that box of piss every day.
Yeah.
Like, it's the greatest thing about dogs. They go outside. Like, you're a fucking
The
human.
cats got their humans trained.
Imagine how crazy that is. You're a fucking human being, and you prefer a litter box. You want to piss into a pile of sand rather than use a bathroom that you could flush the toilet, wipe yourself like a normal person. Like, you're so crazy with what you think an animal is that not only have you said this, but you've conned the school into putting this fucking litter box in a girl's room.
Yeah.
Which is bananas.
It is.
This has to be the funniest thing that Joe Rogan has said. Unfortunately, I believe that this is not him joking whatsoever. I think that he's taking this serious, that he is he's not memeing, I guess you could say. He's completely dead ass with this entire thing. Unfortunately, all the breakthroughs in communications and broadcasting has led us to this moment of Joe Rogan talking about furries.
I don't know if I believe that his friend told him this. I don't know if he's making that up, but one of you are lying here, either you or your friend or your friend's wife. Listen, whenever somebody tells me something that's really unbelievable, I ask for proof. If one of your friends tells you something that's super bizarre, wouldn't you say, prove it, show me a picture? Why hasn't a single person who has made this claim been able to produce a shred of evidence? Why have we not seen a single picture of a litter box in a school? I mean, if you really wanted to prove this, if there were no evidence, it's easy enough to fake. You could just find some public bathroom, put a litter box in it, shit in it, take a picture of that, and then you can at least spread that onto the internet. It'd take a little bit longer to be debunked, but they're not even trying. They're just repeating what one person says after hearing that from a different person. It's like conspiracy theory telephone, and the myth just won't die. Now, forgive me if you've already seen where this came from before, because we've talked about this on the program, but this claim originated in December of 2021 when one mom said that she heard someone tell her that there were litter boxes in schools for students who identify as furries. Now, a video was uploaded to the Midland Public School District YouTube channel, and that video went viral after it was shared by libs of TikTok. But this is what I'm talking about. This is where the myth originated.
I want to talk about the fact that, and I know this is going on nationwide, so it is not just for this board, but our community needs to understand that the agenda that is being pushed through our schools is, just my opinion, but somewhat nefarious when it comes to some of the activities. So let's talk about furries. It was addressed by a child a couple months ago that they are put in an environment where there are kids that identify as a furry, a cat or a dog, whatever. And so yesterday I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats.
Now, after she said that, the school district had to come out and say, no, this is not happening. But the myth continued to spread.
And my thing is, why don't we let the kids, poop in the litter boxes if they want to? They might know more. They might be on to something. Look, I'm not willing to die on this hill whatsoever. But at the very end of the day, who's wanting to tell these kids what they can and cannot do? If they want to be some little stinkers, then let them be that.
And school district after school district after school district has had to come out and say, no, we're not putting litter boxes in the restrooms for students, after parents hear that claim and then they accuse the school of doing just that. This has happened in Tennessee after a Republican state senator claimed that it was happening. It happened in Michigan, where the school district there had to deny this claim. This was the case in Iowa. It was also the case in Wisconsin and in New York and Indiana. And the Republican gubernatorial nominee in Colorado, Tudor Dixon, didn't necessarily say that students were shitting in litter boxes at schools, but she did release a list of 30 schools who were allegedly accommodating students that identify as cats. And again, in that instance, multiple school districts in Colorado had to come out and say, no, this is just not happening. And one school official, Brett Miles, said these claims are exhausting. It's a distraction, right? Because they have to take time out of their day to investigate the claims coming from the parents, and it just never ends. So the way that this keeps spreading is that original video, it went viral. Then somebody, seemingly a few months later, saw it, repeated that claim on social media. That claim then went viral, and it just keeps happening. Now, the reason why these claims, as absurd as they are persuasive to a lot of Republicans and concerned parents is because the way that they are seemingly, or at least ostensibly, linked to LGBTQ plus issues, right? Because we see the hysteria over trans issues. And we see this Republican claim that, well, if my son can now become a girl and identify as a woman, then what's stopping other students from identifying as cats? It's similar to the gay marriage argument, right? Oh, well, if I as a man can marry another man, then why can't I marry another dog? This is the trans equivalent of that. So it is a tertiary issue with regard to transphobia, right? It's linked to transphobia. And to prove that, well, in this same podcast episode, Joe Rogan and Tulsi Gabbard engaged in transphobia, where they praised self-described theocratic fascist Matt Walsh's documentary, where he just tries to eradicate the existence, or disprove, I should say, the existence of trans people, even if that is.
So there we have it, you guys. And I know this might, it might be an older clip, but it is still the same Joe Rogan. I mean, he's one of these guys that's going to say, like, oh, they're putting poison in the fluoride, and wow, that might not, whatever he wants to say about that is whatever he wants to say about that. But if he's going to go and he's going to say, oh, liberals don't care about protecting the children, it's just, he's just hearing crap, and he's just saying crap at the very end of the day. So I think it's important for people to just not count him in, to sort of ignore what the hell he's talking about whenever he's saying some serious stuff, because he'll get his news from anywhere. He'll just go off of rumors. Let me know what you guys think, though. Yeah.